Okay, good morning, Year 2, and welcome to Wednesday's phonics video. We've been looking at the O sound so far this week, haven't we? Spelt with an O-A. So just a little reminder, let's have a look at the picture. So what do we say for this picture? What's the phrase? Goat in a boat. And you can hear those words, can't you? Those O sounds in goat and boat. Okay? So let's just practice sounding out those words. You sound them back to me and then say the full word. So toad, toad, oak, oak, road, road, oak, cloak, oat, throat, oast, roast, toast, toast, loaf, loaf, oat, coat, coal, coal, ouch, coach. Brilliant, well done. Okay, so the O sound that we're looking at today is the O and the A, that when we put them together, they make O. So first we're going to read some different green words with the O sound in them by sounding them out with the dots and dashes. So sound them out, even if you know them, and then say the full word. Oh, sorry. Loaf. Coat. Coal. Croak. Goal. Soap. Coast. Float. Okay, now we're going to practice reading some words with more than one syllable. So those words all had one beat, didn't they? Today we're going to be looking at words with more than one syllable, and we're just going to quickly remind ourselves how to do it. So if I had this word, we'd sound out until we hear a word. So float. And then I'd sound out the next part. Ed. Floated. That should be an ed. That should be two dots, not a line. So float ed, float ed, floated. So that word is floated. So sound out each part and put them together. So let's read some more polysyllabic words. That means words with more than one syllable. First one. So we've got boasted. Boasted. That means to sort of brag, to show off. Next one. We've got soaking. Soaking. So we've got toast, toaster. We've got approach, approach. That means to come close to somebody. We've got goal, keep, goalkeeper, goalkeeper. Someone who plays in goal in football. Well done. You read those polysyllabic words really well. So now we're going to remind ourselves of the rule. So the rule is that for the OAO sound, it's often the spelling we use in the middle or beginning of a syllable or word. Okay, you would never find the OA at the end of a word or syllable. Remember, it's important we say syllable because sometimes it can be in the beat rather than at the middle of the word. Okay. So now we're going to read the green word more quickly without the dots and dashes to help us. So let's go. And now I'm going to mix them up before we practice reading them again quickly. So I'm going to speed through these a lot more quickly than last time. So are you ready? Let's go. Okay. Next, we're going to practice reading some red words. Remember, these are words with tricky spellings. So we're going to read the word and then find what the tricky spelling is. So again, this is this one because we keep spelling it wrong. So let's keep practicing it. This word is said. What's the tricky part? AI, because it makes an E and not an A sound. Next word. When. What's the tricky part? That's it, the WH, because it makes a W sound. This one. Some. Some. What's the tricky part in some? That's it, the O and the E. Because we don't say the E, it's not a split grapheme, and the O makes an U sound. Next one. Mrs. Mrs. So that's a very, very funny word, isn't it? M-R-S. Mrs. So the R and the S are the tricky part of that, aren't they? So you cannot sound that out. We would say mrs, wouldn't we? So it's just one to remember. This one. I, not I as in I, but I as in I. What's the tricky parts in I? Again, I would say every single letter in that word is tricky. E-Y-E. None of those sounds make an I, do they? And this one? Wood. Wood. Not wood as in something made from a tree, but wood as in I would do something. What's the tricky parts? The O and the L. because the O-U-L makes the sound. Remember, O-U, lucky duck. Okay, now we're going to practice spelling some words, and you will need a pencil and paper. And remember to use your thread fingers to help you. And for longer words, split them into beats and syllables. Okay, so get your pencil and paper, then we'll be ready. Okay, so our first green word today is going to be the word soak. I had to soak the new seed in water before I planted it in the soil. Soak. Okay, so that word was soak. Let's check it. Pause if you're not ready. So soak was S-O-A-K. Soak. Let's have a look at the next one. The next one is croak. Croak. When I saw the frog, it began to croak. Croak. Okay, let's check how we spell the word croak. C-R-O-A-K. Croak. That's the noise a frog makes, isn't it? And it might be, if you get a sore throat, you might have a croaky voice. The next word is coast. Coast. We are so lucky to live near the coast because we can go to the beach whenever we want. Coast. The coast is a place, isn't it, that's where the land meets the sea. Coast. Okay, let's check how we spell coast. C-O-A-S-T. Coast. The next word. Now this word's got 2 syllables, 2 beats. So think about that as you say it and spell it. The word is toaster. Toaster. I was hungry, so I put some bread in the toaster. Toaster. Remember, toast. And let's spell the word toaster. Remember, pause if you're not ready. So toaster. T-O-A-S-T-E-R. Toaster. Toaster. And the last of our green words today is going to be floated. Floated. I got a balloon for my birthday, but I let go of it and it floated up into the sky. Floated. Okay, let's sound out the word floated. T, that's float, and then ed, E-D, floated. Okay, next we're going to do some red words. So 3 red words. So the first red word is another one that I just want us to keep practicing until we get it. Said. Said. The man said it was a special day today. Said. So let's spell said. S-A-I-D. Said. Remember that A-I makes the S sound in said, doesn't it? And our next red word is some. Some. I wanted some sweets for the cinema. Some. Okay, let's check the word some. S-O-M-E. Some. And our last red word, now this one, just to give you a clue, because it's a title, that means it's like a part of someone's name, it needs to begin with a capital letter. So remember that, okay? So this word is Mrs. Mrs. Remember, we can't sound it out, we just need to remember it. Mrs. Okay, Mrs. Let's have a look. Capital M R S. Mrs. Now, check how you did on those. Check which ones you might need to practice a bit more. And then we're going to go on to our sentence now. Okay, so this sentence, just to give you a few clues, don't forget your capital letters, finger spaces, and full stops. Now, when I say capital letters, I mean for people's names, okay? Because there's a name in this, just to tell you. And the name has got 2 parts. Both parts of that name need a capital letter. So let's listen to it. The sentence is, my best meal is when Mrs. Boast cooks me some toast soaked in butter. My best meal is when Mrs. Boast cooks me some toast soaked in butter. My best meal is when Mrs. Boast cooks me some toast soaked in butter. My turn, your turn. My best meal is when Mrs. Boast cooks me some toast soaked in butter. Your turn. My turn. My best meal is when Mrs. Boast cooks me some toast soaked in butter. Your turn. My turn. My best meal is when Mrs. Boast cooks me some toast soaked in butter. Your turn. Okay. I want you to write that sentence. Remember all your capital letters. Remember those words that have got more than 1 syllable. Remember, if something is soaked, what sound comes at the end in that second syllable. Off you go. Okay, everyone. Let's go through the sentence. So if you've not finished writing the sentence, pause the video. If you have, then we'll go on now to have a look at how we spell the sentence. So the first word is my, M-Y, tick for the capital letter, and a tick for my spelled M-Y. Next word is best, B-E-S-T, best, give yourself a tick. Then we've got meal. Now, meal's a little bit tricky. M-E-A-L, it's that E-A-E sound. Then the next one is I-S. The next one is when, W-H-E-N. Then Mrs. Now, this is a tricky one. Capital M-R-S. You can only have a tick if you've got a capital M and the word is spelt correctly. Next word is boast. Now that needs a capital B. B-O-A-S-T. You can have a tick if you got boast spelt correctly but without the capital letter, and you can have 2 ticks if you got it spelt correctly with the capital letter. Next word is cooks. C-O-O-K-S. Next word is me. M-E. Then we've got some. S-O-M-E. Then toast. T-O-A-S-T. Then soaked. S-O-A-K-E-D. Then in. I-N. Butter. B-U-T-T-E-R. And then your full stop at the end. So you could have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 ticks. Check how many you got. And well done, year 2, again for your hard work. So that's all for today. And I will see you soon for more lessons. Bye-bye.